Apologize for the lateness. I'm having some technical issues this morning. For some odd reason, the system wouldn't let me stream to Zoom and YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So apologies to anybody trying to watch on Facebook and YouTube because we're not there this morning. Kind of is what it kind of is. Anyway, happy to see you all this morning. The topic today is acceptance. Funny thing about that. Accepting all of it, self-acceptance, not in spite of anything, but with all of it. So we're going to get into that in a minute. I want to give like another little mini instruction for the meditation. This is a very simple practice, which is what I like about it. And we sit in this body and we focus on our breathing. And when our mind wanders off, we simply come back. And we just keep doing that over and over and over again. And I know that some people get frustrated with that process, and some people think that they're doing it wrong, whatever it is, because they can't get their mind to be still. And the mind doesn't go to still. It just doesn't. And it took me a very long time to get used to that. So I'm going to offer another simple little practice to go along with it. Every time you notice, or whenever you notice that your mind has wandered off in thought, that's fine. When you notice, just say to yourself, all good, and then come back to your breathing, because it's all good, and then come back to your breathing. So with that, I invite you to find a comfortable meditation posture in which you can be alert and awake at the same time. If you're in a sitting posture, sit so that your back is straight without being rigid, without stressing the muscles in your lower back. And you tuck in your chin just a little bit, and if it's like there's a little string on the crown of your head, just pulls up ever so gently to straighten the top of your spine without stressing the muscles in your neck. And gently close your eyes. And let's start with a couple of slow, deep breaths, just to get connected to the body in this moment. Long, slow, deep inhale into the belly. And as you breathe out, let's just begin the process of relaxing and softening. Slow, deep breaths. And on the exhale, just relax the muscles in your face and around your eyes. And letting the breath return to normal. And as you breathe out, just continue Continuing to relax your face muscles and your shoulders. Let your shoulders drop. Relaxing your stomach muscles. There's nothing to cling to. There's nothing to hold on to. Just letting your stomach hang. Now let your attention come to your breathing. Noticing the sensations of the body. Breathing in and out. We're not trying to do anything with the breath. We're not trying to control it. We're just being with the sensations of the body breathing. Some people do this by focusing on the sensations of the air moving in and out of your nose. Some people focus on the sensations of the chest or the belly moving up and down. And some people focus on just the global sensations of the body breathing. Just being with the rhythm of the body, breathing in and out at its own pace. When the mind wanders off, when you notice that you're thinking, all good. Just gently slide your attention back to the sensations of the body breathing. You notice you've been thinking, it's all good, all of it. We can accept ourselves, we can accept our experience, we can accept our monkey mind wandering around. We can accept whatever thought it strays into, whatever feeling arises, and know we're okay. Without rejecting anything, without judging any piece of it. Just bringing our attention and our awareness back to the simplicity of being in this moment with the body breathing in and out. And as we come towards the end of this sitting, maybe that this practice enables us to move through the world with kindness and compassion, and helps us nurture kindness and gentleness towards ourselves and self-compassion that we can then turn outward as compassion and kindness to others. May the benefits of this practice be of benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. Thank you for your practice. Again, my apologies for getting started late this morning. I could not get the YouTube and Facebook feeds to work, and I think it's a problem with the Zoom software in my camera. Just as an aside, I worked in Silicon Valley for 20 years, and there's a little secret they don't tell you. This stuff doesn't work all that well. So, as is often the case, when you upgrade your software to the newer version, it doesn't work. So I upgraded the Zoom client, and I've been having issues like this ever since, so that's the way it goes. All that aside. So today, we're going to talk about being as we are and being okay. A lot of people come into meditation, and myself included, we may think that meditation will somehow improve us, make us better. But it's really not about that. Mindfulness practice, meditation practice, is about accepting ourselves as we are right now. And when we think that we have to improve somehow, that's, a subtle aggression against who we are. It's not compassionate. We're telling ourselves things like, I need to exercise more, I need to change my attitude, I wish my house was cleaner, I need to meditate more, I need to lose weight, that's a big one. I need to look like those people on the front covers of the fashion magazines, on Men's Magazine or on Cosmo. It's endless, right? And it's reinforced all the time. Unless you look a certain way, you almost never see yourself on television and on the covers of magazines, and all the television commercials for food, followed by the television commercials for Weight Watchers. We get so many messages that we're not okay. And we are, as we are right now, all of it. And loving kindness towards ourselves doesn't mean rejecting anything. Not anything. We can still be crazy or angry or timid or shy. We can still have our feelings of unworthiness and struggle with whatever we struggle with. But meditation practice is not about getting rid of or diminishing parts of ourselves so that we can somehow be better. Because we're not perfect. We're kind of like a mishmash of all this stuff. And the more time and energy we focus on trying to be other than as we are, the harder it gets and the more painful it is just to be in a waking state. It's about making friends with who you are as you are. You may have a friend or someone you know and love who occasionally gets irritated or angry or makes mistakes, or is a horrible cook, but you keep going over there for dinner anyway because you're a nice person. We don't reject those people when we see them being other than perfect, but we tend to do that up to ourselves. We don't say, I love you, but only if you're not angry ever. But we do that kind of thing to ourselves. So it's really about making friends with ourselves as we are and with all the different parts of us. There's a little piece of writing about this in the 12-Step Lexicon, in one of the affirmation books. It says, "For today, I let no one, including myself, try to shame me into changing something about myself I wish were different. I pray to be relieved of guilt and self-hate and to accept myself exactly as I am. That's where I can begin to change." It's a paradox. If we feel like we can make changes, like we need to make changes, that can only begin by embracing what is here now. I can't let go of anything I haven't embraced. The Tao Te Ching speaks to this. It says, "The master is available to all people and doesn't reject anyone." And I take that as an internal message. All the different personalities living in here, Ken, the meditation teacher who you're seeing right now, Ken, the slightly irritable guy when things aren't going well, Ken, I swore I would never do this anymore, but I bought a piece of furniture you had to assemble, like IKEA style. Ken, the guy who's irritated doing that. It's all okay. And the Dalai Lama spoke to this. I saw a documentary on the Dalai Lama. You cannot be exposed to him without having it change you. Well, there are a couple of things about that. I saw him when he came to Mountain View, California. He filled the amphitheater in Mountain View. And on the last night he taught for 3 days, he took questions. And someone said, "What about anger and frustration?" And he just kind of shrugged and said, "Oh, I experienced that." Like it's nothing. And he doesn't wonder whether he's okay. In fact, when he first came to America and was doing his first speaking tour, the idea that some people were not okay with themselves was completely new to him. It's a cultural thing. And in this documentary, I can't do the accent really well. He goes, "Sometimes I get short with people. Then we move on." So he knows he has these moments. He's okay with it. He doesn't do what a lot of us have been trained to do, which is spend the next several hours contemplating how bad we are and wishing we were different. So what if we meet those difficult aspects of ourselves with a kind of gentle curiosity, a kind of good-heartedness, willing to be open? Because every one of those traits, Ken the angry guy, Ken the addict, Ken the manipulator, I've got all that stuff that I've been involved with. They all have a positive intent. They're all ways in which we are trying to get some need met. Some of them are maladaptive, but they all have a positive intent. For example, I have talked pretty openly in these sessions about the fact that I'm a recovering addict. That's no secret. I'm not ashamed of it. It's a big club. And I used to think that my addict self was trying to kill me And he will if I let him. Okay. He eventually will if I let him. But I don't believe that anymore. I think he was trying to help me. He was born of something positive. Because I grew up in an abusive household in a dangerous and chaotic environment. And that part of my personality was just trying to get me to go to sleep so that I wouldn't have to feel what was happening. And still goes to that impulse sometimes. And it's okay. But the other part of that truth is now I'm an adult, or old enough to be a mature adult, and I usually act like one. I don't need to anesthetize myself or check out or numb out or go to sleep or sleepwalk through the world. I used to have issues with anger. I still get angry. I just don't act it out so much. And anger is a way of letting me know that something is not okay. It's nothing more than that. And it's a form of grief. Yet we live in a culture, that saying, you will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. That is a load of crap. Right? We will only be punished by ourselves if we create a narrative in which we decide there's something wrong with us because of this feeling or that feeling that comes up. Anger is a natural response to injustice or abuse. It lets us know that something okay is not happening. And then what we do with that, that's where the karma is. I can be so angry I can pop somebody upside the head. That's fine, as long as I don't pop them upside the head. Right? As long as I sit in this body and use my mindfulness training to examine what is happening to me without judgment and to be compassionate. And last week I was talking about the inner critic, which is a part that many of us reject. But what if the inner critic is just trying to feel loved? What if the inner critic is a part of us that doesn't feel loved and accepted and is trying to tell us what we need to do in order to be okay? And would we reject a wounded child who is doing that? No, we would nurture and support and love that child into being okay. So, as Lao Tzu said, the wise one rejects nothing. You're okay as you are right now, so am I. I was a little agitated this morning. I couldn't get the technology to work, and it's 9:03, now it's 9:05, and I have a little Chicken Little voice in my head telling me the sky is falling. Right? And I remembered I used to joke with people. I used to work in this social service agency where I was the only person on the hallway who had any technical savvy, and people were always coming to my office asking me what to do about their computer that didn't work. And at one point, I just said, "Well, just hit it with a hammer." Not really. Don't hit your computer with a hammer. But I had that thought of maybe I'll just hit the computer with a hammer. It's all good. I can take a deep breath and say, okay, this is an annoying moment. I'm still okay. It's like the Dalai Lama said, and then we move on. So if you get angry, be kind to yourself. If you feel frustrated, be kind to yourself. If you have an epic fail in the kitchen, which I had recently, it was inedible by most standards, be kind to yourself. That's the response all the time, and it is the most important thing I will ever say in any of these sessions is let's move away from that habit of deciding we're not okay. Let's move away from that I shouldn't have been. That doesn't mean we don't create messes and have to clean them up. Right, that's the 10th step of Alcoholics Anonymous, is when we're wrong, promptly admit it, clean up the mess. I make messes all the time. I put my foot in it all the time. But I'm getting a lot better at not going to, I'm bad, stupid, and wrong. And finally, one of the things that comes to mind, when I was working as a therapist, every now and then someone would say, I just want to be perfect. And I thought, what if you are now, and this is it? Foibles and all, may as well love it. You know what Lenny Bruce used to say? These are the jokes, they don't get funnier. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the show. So I invite you to be kind and gentle with yourself. Thank you for your kind attention. Any comments or questions, thoughts, ideas? Ken, don't hit your computer with a hammer.
I'll just say my mom's had the exact same problems with Zoom that you have, Ken, and she almost hit it with a hammer. But yeah, but you're not alone. And she said she was eventually able to get it fixed with the new update. So that somehow things always work themselves out in the end.
Yeah, well, I was an editor for Computer Systems News before I was an editor for Macintosh News, before I ran technology coverage at the San Francisco Chronicle, and then I consulted for computer companies after that. It doesn't work that well. And there's a long, long, long history of upgrades that crash everything. So I will be looking for the next Zoom upgrade. Thank you for your patience.
Thanks, Ken. Awesome message today.
Thanks, Will. Glad you're here. Thank you for being my communications conduit to the group while I was trying to figure it out. Okay, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. Nobody on Facebook or YouTube can hear me saying this, but I did record this and I will post the recording to Facebook and YouTube. So if by chance you know anybody who felt left out, it'll be available later. Thank you all.
Thank you for the practice. Thank you for the space.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.